get a question, especially from more educated consumers of raw milk, that why do we feed any grain at all if you have 90 acres of pasture and you're intensively grazing them? And it's not as straightforward as you should always have no grain. Less grain is better. That is true to a point, and that's only if your pasture's up to snuff. If you don't have high enough quality pasture, their cow's condition is going to suffer, and we really don't have that here, even though we have a lot of pasture. In the grain is also a mixture of a bunch of different vitamins and minerals that make up for the things that aren't in the grass. And so until our grass is perfect, it's good to feed some kind of buffer to help them to stay at their peak nutrition, so that you know you're getting high quality milk and you know that your cow is not suffering on low quality pasture. We are actively working to get our pastures better. That's just what you have to do to get it in the meantime, to help your cow not to suffer. If we were, a lot of you say, well, I've read that you're supposed to just feed no grain because cows are meant to eat grass, especially with all the new Fresh and all these movies. They're like, why do we feed grain? The animals are supposed to eat grass. That's all good and well with a beef cow who's adapted to eating pasture, but with a dairy cow that is it's been bred for making lots of milk, for generations, it needs higher amounts of nutrition. Only feed 3 pounds of grain per head per day. That's just enough to give them the extra boost of energy to get the minerals and everything that are in the grain into the cow. We mix a couple extra nutrients. There's a few mineral balancers we add to the grain each morning, and that's really the only way to get them to eat it. They do have free choice minerals on pasture, but this is to be a part of that as well. And so a lot of people say, well, if they're fed any grain, then the pH of their rumens change, so they're not going to have any CLA in the milk, or the amounts are going to be so low that it doesn't matter. And that is true if you're feeding lots of grain. The pH does change. With 3 pounds for 1,100 pound cow, that's hardly any part of their diet, and it's not going to modify the pH to the extent that it's going to change the quality of the milk. You're not missing out on those beneficial factors in the milk with that small amount of grain. And so yeah, that's it. We feed Countryside organic grain. It's soy free, GMO free. It's high quality. It's the best you can get around here, and it's 3 times the price of anything else that you can buy. And we don't charge you more for that. We're the price of all the other cow shares that feed regular old conventional grain, and that's because we believe in the necessity of organic food, especially for a milk cow, that you're drinking the milk and you're getting everything that's bad out of that and everything good out of that into the milk. And so we want to make sure you're getting high quality stuff. If we could be grain free, we would be, because we spend a lot of money on this grain, and we can make a lot higher profits, or some profit, if we didn't feed organic grain. But we do, because we believe in it, and it is good, and it's really good for our girls. And you should come out sometime and see the quality of the girls, see that we do have lots of pasture, and that it is a tiny amount of grain. 3 pounds of grain in a pile, I mean, it's like a big bowl of cereal or something. They're not eating a whole lot of grain. No, that's the amount of grain we feed. That's why we feed grain. That's why it's good, even though cows do live on grass only. Thanks.